9/11/2001, a day that will forever be etched in the memories of those who watched both in person and on television with horror the sight of nearly 3,000 Americans being slaughtered at the hands of a terrorist attack. Since the attack, Americans by the thousands have joined our nation's military, offering their service and many times offering the ultimate sacrifice, responding to the sucker punch thrown at this nation on a near-perfect Tuesday morning in 2001. Many of those who joined then, and now even a decade later, undergo their 10 weeks of basic military training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, the largest basic training installation on the planet. Over the next hour, we'll meet men and women who were just kids when 9/11 happened, inductees in the military who are undergoing basic training at the legendary fort, candidates who raised their right hand and took an oath, some having little understanding about what it really takes to earn the title American Soldier. They say goodbye to their friends and their family, and they begin their journey from citizen to soldier in just 10 weeks at Jackson. On September 10, 2001, then Sergeant Anthony Soika was a member of the New York National Guard, serving his community 1 weekend a month. But by September 12th, he was at Ground Zero as one of the first responders responsible for securing the area and creating a feeling of calm amidst chaos.
Everybody was leaving Lower Manhattan. Our concern was that anybody moving south into Lower Manhattan was doing so to rob it. And so our main mission was basically, you can get by us one direction, but you're not going by us the other way. Within a couple of hours, Lower Manhattan was essentially a ghost town regardless. It was really an interesting sight. We were probably shin deep in what appeared to be gray snow, but was actually ash from the World Trade Center.
The training process at Fort Jackson starts with an early morning bus ride from a hotel. Civilians complete simple tasks, such as medical examinations, gathering equipment, and of course, a little trim off the top.
It got to the point where when the bus stopped for us to get off of it, and it's like, oh, I think this is real now. This might be real now. I'm not, yeah, this is real now. Let me, I texted my mom. Sent my mom one last text in the morning. I think she was more worried about it than I was. But I sent my mom that one last text, Mom, it's gonna be a while before I hear from you again, but I do love you, and you've been a great parent for me and to me. But might not hear from you again, so love you.
It basically hits you that it's real, that basically like your life's about to change and you don't know what to expect. So you just start trying to get ready, but you really can't prepare for what's about to happen.
They actually told us to put our head down in our luggage so we couldn't see where we was going, so kind of nervous, didn't know where we was going until we actually got there. As soon as we got there, we heard drill sergeants yelling, get off the bus, you got 30 seconds, move, move, move.
But then when you get to reception, it's like on the opposite side of base, I guess. So it's like nothing. And I don't know, I just feel separated from the world.
Right.
So that was different. It was, I don't even know how to explain it. It was crazy.
The first 48 hours is like, I have new people. I'm in a new surrounding. I had to acclimate myself to new people. The barracks, the drill sergeants, the attitudes that come along with the territory. My mindset was just adjust, because at this point I have no choice but to adjust.
And you still can't do what you're supposed to do. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Get on the front line of rest. When?
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Because as we've talked about, the enemy is not going to feel sorry for you. Down. Up.
Good.
Down. Up. 2. Down. Up.
3.
Down.
Although from the outside, it may appear that a drill sergeant is, well, verbally challenging to a recruit, the seemingly endless yelling, repetitive drills, and even push-ups have a very specific purpose, building skills and the discipline that will serve a soldier for his entire career. In fact, it's these drill sergeants that are the most integral part of training. Everything they learn in this phase of training comes from these dedicated men and women.
Why is it every freaking day with you I have something new? What are other drill sergeants coming to me and telling me you can't do the right thing? Hey, let's go. Huh? Well, explain yourself. I'm sick and tired of it. Every day. What do you mean you don't know? How come I have a drill sergeant come and telling me that you're jacked up on their obstacle and you don't even know what you did? Why is it every day? Why can't they get themselves together? I'm sick and tired of this crap. Go! I didn't mean that.
What did I get myself into? What did I sign up for?
It'll get under your skin. Like when we're at ranges, when we qualify for our weapon, they have to be on edge. And it's been days where everybody's gotten yelled at for, you know, minor things. And it's like, man, I hate this drill sergeant. I know I did it right, but he's still in my face. Get out of my face. I hate him.
When I first got here, I wasn't used to being yelled at and told what to do, and so I came off with a little attitude. But towards the end, you just start to get used to it. You start to know that this is what you have to do. This is what you signed up for. This is your job. So you just start to adjust to the lifestyle, learn what you have to do, and just do it right, and do what they say do, because they're right.
It was hard. First couple weeks, it was hard. The physical part, not really. But mental-wise, it was hard. Getting everything straight and in order. It was pretty tough.
Drill sergeants, awesome. I mean, honestly, they are, I couldn't ask for better drill sergeants. They, just by looking at them, you can tell they've taken their tours, they've been overseas. They have that combat training that they're instilling into us to do what we need to do when our tour comes. They're more than educated on what to do. So I'm honored, honestly, to follow under their footsteps, to follow under their training, their guidance. And they also throw in little tidbits of what they've learned, not just the teachings they've given us or the teachings that they're supposed to give us from the book. The personal experiences. They sit us down and say, well, I went through this and I went through that. And it kind of actually helps us out and relaxes us or puts us on edge, like, oh, I hope I don't have to do this or do that. Like, but it's all in all, it's all helpful.
Well, how I see it as mentoring them and grooming them to take my spot and to go out there and, you know, fight the battle. When soldiers come here, they don't know what to do. They learn so much, and I see them come in, you know, basically, hey, wearing these sneakers and jeans, being like around the block, and to, like, you know, they're standing at the position of attention, they're taking orders, they're reacting when we're telling them to, you know, they're taking the initiative to go the step beyond. So it's kind of prideful at the end.
That's a feeling of pride. That's a feeling of what I'm doing is worth it. I'm making a difference. And I think that's what each drill sergeant wants, in my opinion, is to feel that he or she is making a difference, that they're not out here just screaming, ranting, raving for nothing. They're actually making a difference, and they're actually making soldiers that could go to a unit and be productive in that unit.
When I was in Desert Storm as a young 22-year-old specialist in the Army on active duty, I remember seeing dead Iraqis everywhere on what we called the highway to hell, and I didn't think twice about it. And I'm a guy that is touched if I see a dead dog on the side of the road, but when it came to a dead member of the Republican Guard, yeah, I didn't bat an eye. When I was standing at ground zero, it may be because I was 32 years old and married and not 22 and cocky, but as I was standing at ground zero, I remember thinking when they carried a firefighter out in a body bag, I didn't want my soldiers to see me cry. And I stepped into a porta potty that we had there and kind of pulled myself together for a minute and came back out acting like nothing had happened. But I remember really being, when it's one of your guys, it doesn't matter that you didn't know them, you're one team. And when one of yours goes down, that was a really big deal to me.
The red phase is where the foundations of many other skills are laid. Recruits begin to learn about ballistics and rifle marksmanship fundamentals. These are the basic techniques on which they'll begin to build their expertise in the use of firearms and other weapons they'll employ later in training and often on deployment.
In red phase, we taught you to do this, we taught you to do that. You know what the expectation is and you know what the standard is. So now, let's see what you can do. Just given the instructions and the task, let's see what you can do and see if you can uphold the standard.
The first couple weeks, we probably did like land navigation. You start learning how to take your weapon apart. You just start learning the basics, left face, right face, marching. That's basically what you do the first couple weeks. And then later on, you start actually shooting your weapons and learning how to work as a team, basically.
A lot of Americans do what they want to do when they want to do it. Here, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna fly. That's not what we train soldiers to do. We train them to follow orders.
Physical fitness is a constant not only in basic training, but throughout a career. And it's now recruits also begin to build their self-confidence. Fears of heights or questions of their own abilities are faced head-on as they complete tasks such as rappelling and navigating rope bridges. It's in the first few weeks they also learn about drill and ceremony. Even these movements, which by week 10 will be precise in execution, have a purpose on a mission and on the battlefield. By teaching every soldier the same basic skills, they will function as a unit when called upon later. Fieldcraft and patrolling are another area of study for these recruits, many of whom can read a printed map, but may find one made of pine cones and sticks a bit more challenging. As the recruits begin to gain confidence, become skilled in the basics of marksmanship, and even face an early morning run head-on, the challenges continue. In the basic training cycle, everything has a purpose, even being exposed to nuclear, biological, and chemical defense. They call it NBC. You and I probably just call it the gas chamber.
Crabtree William, E2, 422-347-7788, Sergeant.
At Fort Jackson, the next training phase is the white phase, which sometimes is referred to as the rifleman, qualification, or shoot phase, which foreshadows what the recruits will be learning as they continue to build upon each skill they've learned before it.
You see the most improvement to me is when you see the soldier qualifying the weapon. It's like they have a pride, accomplishment that they've done something that they set out that they didn't think they could do, because a lot of soldiers have never fired a weapon before. And to teach them how to go from step 1 to step 10 and to see them actually get it and do it, that's rewarding right there.
As with each new challenge, tasks become more difficult and require the knowledge and teamwork they've learned in each previous day and week. After much practice taking apart, cleaning, and putting their weapons back together without ammo, classroom training on safety and other concepts, it's time to load up their M4s and put some hot lead downrange. Skills such as zeroing in their sights, shooting in different stances and conditions, and fixing a jammed weapon are all mastered over several days on the live range at Fort Jackson. It's called qualification, and it requires skills and proficiency in all areas of the live fire course, including timed shooting drills, changing weapons, and even engaging the enemy at different distances. Once the live fire exercise is complete and they've qualified with their weapon, it gives the recruit more confidence in their ability to continue in the program.
Basic trainees work hard, and they build a big hunger. But there are also thousands of other personnel on post, and when it comes to feeding them, it nearly takes an army. The food service puts out nearly 45,000 meals a day.
The fact that we were all infantrymen, our mission, as we saw it, was to fight. And the fact that most of my peers were New Yorkers, this was a personal thing to them. They wanted to deploy. They wanted to go to Afghanistan. There was nobody saying, I joined for the college money. I never thought I'd have to fight a war. These are quintessential New Yorkers that want payback. And there was a lot of frustration when they found out they weren't going to be deployed. We simply did our 15 days. We stood down for 30, and then we came back for 90 more days.
Today is actually their live fire. They're learning how to do buddy team movement and firing live ammunition. Yesterday we practiced with no ammunition and blank, but today they're learning how to maneuver. It's the culminating step of about 8 weeks of training. Most of the MOSs or the jobs that are here at Fort Jackson are support jobs. So a lot of these soldiers will be on convoys. They'll be executing training around the FOB, the forward operating bases. So God forbid they ever come in contact with any kind of enemy, they're going to have to know how to maneuver, how to find cover, how to get behind something so that they don't get hit, and then how to return fire accurately. But we don't do anything in the Army without a battle buddy. That's instilled from the day they get here. And it's important. You can't, in combat, you cannot rely on just yourself. You have to rely on somebody else having your back, have somebody else supporting you. So we try to make sure that from the get-go, from the day they show up, they're assigned a battle buddy. Normally it's somebody they're not used to. It could be someone from a different race, could be someone from a different origin, someplace else in the country. And it's an opportunity for them to learn how to deal with different people, which helps them when they're in theater, so that they're dealing with other cultures. But at the same time, it has them learn how to rely on somebody else, which a lot of them are not used to doing.
So, Captain,
yeah,
we're at Training Base Omaha.
Correct.
So how does that play? Do you get one for every letter? How does it
No, actually every training area on Fort Jackson is named after a major conflict. So for this one, you know, this is considered, you know, it's named after Omaha Beach, D-Day. So what we do with the soldiers is we try to give them that kind of background, let them know, you know, hey, this is why it's named this way. This is what people have done before you. Because a lot of them one of the things that we've been talking about is a lot of these kids don't even know what 9/11 is.
Sure.
They were like 2 or 3 years old, and they don't understand the significance like it means to us. So every training area we go to is named for some kind of major conflict. And actually, too, there's an Army value that they talk about with somebody that has won a Silver Star, Bronze Star, or the Medal of Honor. And then that way we have a vignette that we can go ahead and talk to the soldiers about to kind of put it in perspective. We don't even get here until we have let them qualify on their weapons. So we go through 10 different periods from teaching them this is what your weapon is, all the way to an actual qualification day, where they have to shoot 23 out of 40 targets in order to qualify. Once they have done that, then we teach them advanced rifle marksmanship, where they're learning how to reflexive fire. And then from there we start going into our combat indoctrination stages. They run U.S. weapons, so they have to fire machine guns, and grenade launchers. And then we come out here, we've been teaching how to maneuver the entire time, and now they get to put that into play. Slap up on a magazine. Slap up on a magazine.
They're here.
Start your patrol.
Hey, where those 2 soldiers go? Y'all told them to stand fast.
All right, stay on line. Stay in line with your battle buddy.
Go.
And the other thing they got to do, or some of the things they got to do, like when they get to the vehicles, we teach them where's the best place to fire from. Where's on a vehicle going to give you the most protection. So that's why we're in front by the engine block. And that's where I was talking about one soldier in the prone right there. They've got to choose what is the best way to keep themselves concealed while still engaging the enemy.
Now, when you've got a battle buddy, how do you teach them to communicate with each other? It's got to be hand-signed visually, right?
It's all right now. It's all by sound. So when his battle buddy is set, he'll start firing his weapon. When he hears that weapon is firing, he knows he's got it covered. So he just picks up and moves. Sometimes on the battlefield, it gets so overwhelming and so loud. You've got to have certain systems in place to help in maneuvering. So they have gotten proficient enough that, hey, you heard his weapon, it's time for me to start moving. But when he gets ready to throw his grenade, he will actually holler over there, you know, hey, frag out when he actually throws the grenade, so that he knows. And so he's getting ready to, he's going to start prepping his grenade here. And you see, he can't do his job without him laying some kind of suppressive fire.
How much of the old school military, you know, equipment like hand grenades are we still using in the military today with the technologies as they are?
We still use hand grenades, but then we have other things too that are as smart weapons are starting to come into play. You know, we have the javelin, which we can actually on the ground we can control it as it goes into a vehicle. So there's multiple things we've got nowadays. The technology is a lot better.
Of course, the difficult part is the enemy's training just as much as we are, probably.
Yes.
In a lot of cases.
Yes, and then too, I mean, if you look, a lot of the Middle Eastern countries or the rogue states or whatever you want to call them, you know, they're getting stuff like, you know, Stinger missiles and things that they're using that are ours, that unfortunately could potentially take down our vehicles, our aircraft. They're always evolving. They're always finding ways to hurt us. So we've got to constantly train, and you know, I think the government does a pretty decent job of getting us, you know, the equipment that we need. So. You're aiming low. Adjust the point of aim.
Ready, set!
That's one, that's two, that's two. Keep going, pilot.
Yeah.
That's one, that's two, that's two. Are you on ammo?
Okay.
So why are you aiming at the enemy? Come back. Now what do you yell? Set.
Did you know that there are 42 basic training graduations a year at Fort Jackson? That means on average, over 42,000 soldiers are created right here in 10 weeks at Jackson.
I really feel that the United States needs to kind of maintain big picture awareness of what's going on, and it's very easy for an 18-year-old soldier who joined the Army for the college money or joined the Army to get out of the ghetto or to avoid jail or that sort of thing. It's easy for him to have a perspective of the world from the eyes of an 18-year-old without actually understanding where you fit. I always tell my soldiers that our team is like a keyboard, and the smallest, most insignificant speck on that keyboard is the period. But try writing a paper with no periods and it's going to be gibberish. Everybody has a role, and the whole machine breaks down if you don't follow your role. So that helps the soldiers, I think, to understand that they have value at their level, and to make sure the big picture is actually successful.
I'm gonna be so excited and nervous and happy to see everybody. It's gonna be crazy. I'm not sure what I'm gonna feel. I might cry, I might not.
As the weeks click ever closer to 10, and with graduation and a reunion with families firmly on the mind of most recruits, it becomes time for a multi-day field training exercise, or FTX.
Currently we're out here executing FTX-3, which is the final culminating event prior to graduation, where the soldiers take all of the skills they have learned throughout the 9-week period at this point, and bring it all together.
It's during the FTX that the seemingly endless hours of repetitive training, marching, PT, map reading, classroom education on warfare, shooting, and teamwork all combine. While in the field, recruits are looked to demonstrate skills and courage tempered by intelligence and common sense. They create a perimeter and stand a post. They organize patrol squads and head into the woods to look for and often engage with the enemy in a situation that at times feels very much like the real thing.
I guess we'll move.
Same way, hey, same direction you just pointed
Kind
to.
of give them a little maneuver space. We'll walk just a little bit behind the squad leader in the center of Alpha and Bravo team. So basically, what we have is a squad column, fire team wedge formation right here. Alpha team is the lead. Bravo team in the trail. Always want to keep the elements separated. You want to make contact with your smallest element. So you try to keep your Alpha team approximately, depending on the terrain, enemy situation, you can go back about 20 meters. Further than that if necessary. So that way, if contact is made, the enemy can't see everything that you have in your fighting formation. And as we move down the lane, we'll get a chance to see how it'll actually play out with the platoon leader taking charge of the assault and element and flanking through the objective to assault the enemy.
While on patrol, squad leaders are looked to make split-second life and death decisions. They employ warfare skills like using suppressive fire to control, move in, and capture or kill the enemy.
Right now, contact has been made with the enemy. The team is calling out the distance and direction and description of the enemy force ahead of them. Alpha team is laying down the base of fire to give suppressive fire on the enemy. Right. But now the Bravo team is sweeping across the objectives. Now Bravo's on the objective. If you want to walk forward and kind of see what they're actually doing up here. Here's our enemy position here with 2 mortar tubes. These are the bad guys here. Yes.
All right.
Where you pulling security from?
Get behind that tree, provide Z cover too. And that way he can roll and you won't shoot him.
Clear.
All right.
Go to the next one. Hurry up.
Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Don't search him. We gotta clear him first.
Let's go.
Get behind cover.
Hurry up. Let's go.
Get behind that tree.
Clear.
Hurry up. Next one. Let's go.
So now that they search the enemy, it'll come back, report to the squad leader what they found.
What weapon systems did we find? What else?
Magazines.
What else?
Flashlights.
What else?
Books work.
What was those big white tubes?
Mortars, just
Mortars? How many mortar tubes?
2.
All right, was there any rounds? Mortar rounds?
I just need your sergeant.
What about the smoke?
What smoke?
1 smoke? All right, RTO. So we got 2 mortar tubes, 4 M4s. All right, 1 smoke grenade. No intelligence. All right, call it up to higher. Let's go. Okay, 2 smoke grenades in.
They also learn the mantra, never leave anyone behind.
Yes, 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 yes.
Let's go. Move. Get back in the way.
So get back in and fight your formation.
In your formation.
Get back in your fighting formation.
Established in 1917, Fort Jackson, initially known as Camp Jackson, is comprised of 52,000 acres, including 100 ranges and over 1,000 buildings.
Like a lot of people, I had the attitude that being Muslim and being terrorist were synonymous. If you were one, you were the other. Having now been to Iraq and Afghanistan, that's absolutely not the case. When I was in Afghanistan in 2010, I was in probably the worst part of the country to be in, and yet I don't think I ever got one dirty look from your rank and file Joe Public Afghan. I, to this day, still keep in touch with a couple of the Afghan civilians that worked in our bazaar who speak English. You know, the Afghans that I met were really great. Versus at 9/11, if you had a turban on your head, I was going to shoot you. And it was as simple as that. You know, I think that I grew a lot from the process, and that's also something I really try to pass on to my young soldiers, that you simply can't generalize a demographic. That's just mindless.
Back from the FTX and finally a shower after several days in the woods, the men and women who 10 weeks prior were just civilians have the opportunity, for the first time, to put on their uniforms and finally see themselves as soldiers. 10 weeks of push-ups, 10 weeks of motivational verbal assistance from drill sergeants, 10 weeks of spit-shining boots, all come down to this final inspection by the battalion commander. Every inch of every soldier is looked at, a hair out of place, a name tag ever so slightly offline, bed corners not at 45 degrees, all ways to earn just a little extra attention. And the inspection is more than a squared-away uniform. Questions about the military are asked, and the answers are expected to be correct.
Let's see here. What's your third general order?
I will report violations of my special orders, emergencies, and anything not covered by instructions to the commander of the Navy.
Outstanding.
Sure.
Having made it through the final test, these soldiers are all aware that in less than 24 hours will stand before their families, not as the kids who left, but men and women who will forever be referred to as American soldiers. By the carload and from all over the country, moms, dads, husbands, and wives all come to Hilton Field to see their loved ones after 10 long weeks with little contact. 10 long, life-changing weeks. 10 weeks at Jackson.
Kanisha was the average college student. She was there, she was taking care of her classes, she was putting forth effort, but I would not say she was putting forth full effort.
Okay.
She was putting forth, I was just enough to get her through, minimal, but now we see that Kanisha's different. Kanisha knows what it takes to put forth a little more to achieve a whole lot, and that we're very proud. And as a parent, we often wonder, we want our children to achieve and be the best that they can, and we tell them to put forth full effort at everything that you do. But at times we wonder, are they listening? Are they really listening? And right now we know she listened. She really listened.
Oh yeah, I actually came to visit her the past 3 weeks once, and then she actually told me that she's very proud of joining the military, and she appreciates everything that she had before, now that she sees what everything that soldiers go through.
Proud, very proud. But also I think that as parents, we see that this is the start to a very bright future in the military. And we're just looking forward to great things from Kanisha.
He's always been very independent, pretty much take charge of all of our children. He's the one that just says, this is what I want to do, and you know, he'll come and get advice, but he's pretty much set on, you pretty much have to say, okay, let's talk about this, let's go. But once he's made a decision, so we're very proud of him.
With him, he is more of a personal guy. He likes to take charge and do things for himself. So we kind of said, okay, well, go for it. You know, it's going to help you out later on.
We're excited. We've missed him. He's been gone for a while, it seems. So we're excited and ready to see him in his uniform.
Well, what I'm going to do, I said, go on, join the Army. Go ahead on. So then she said, She thought about it for almost a year, and then she decided to go ahead and do it. So
she was trying to get rid of her, but then she was crying when she left, and cried every day.
On a serious tip, though, I'm very proud of her. I'm glad she decided to do something productive, so I'm very happy for her.
Well, I think the main thing is it'll give her a sense of responsibility. And that's kind of basically what we want. You know, she's old enough now where she make her own decisions. And that's the main thing, for her to have some responsibility for her own self, some accountability. And I'd be proud of her.
To run the largest training installation, it takes a big budget. Between salaries, contracts, services, and other expenses, Fort Jackson spends more than $716 million each year.
One of the things that we saw early on in mid-September was that there were burning embers and so forth in the bottom of that rubble. And a lot of it was only embers because not enough air could get at it. When they lifted some of the rubble off it and air was able to get to it, suddenly there would be a huge flare-up in flames, and rescuers would have to run for their life not to be caught in it. By the time November came around, you know, like I say, it was mostly a hole. You know, certainly people that were missing had kind of, I don't want to say been given up on, but you know, people were understanding now that it was a recovery process versus a rescue.
With the field work for the moment over, the drill sergeants yelling almost an echo in their ears, and homesick, the soldiers of Foxtrot Company are moments from a reunion with friends and family. And finally, with all the fanfare you might expect, through the smoke, 5 companies of soldiers all charge the field, not into battle, but into the arms of their families.
It's time to strap our boots on. This is
Yeah, okay, Fred. Bigger than a switch. You be able to leave tomorrow?
Yeah, I think tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oh. Hey, Ashley! Oh, I miss you. Hey, I don't know if you got any bigger than that.
We can't go off post, so I'm thinking we get something to eat. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm ready to put this on. You know, where is my baby? He's super excited. I am. We found her. Kia, Kia, Kia. Hi, Kanisha. Oh, congratulations. You did it.
I know.
You did it all by yourself. You didn't have anyone. You did it all by yourself. Look at that. We are so proud of you. How does it feel? You're a soldier.
Good. It's over.
One phase.
Congratulations.
Look at that.
One more day. You still got
One more day, and then it'll be over.
Hi.
Look at that. Look, Ava, it's your sister. Of course, he's a mama's boy.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's good to see him. I miss these big old bear hugs. Hey, huh? You called me? You called me?
out. Don't walk and talk. Nice. Real nice.
Fort Jackson, the largest training installation on the planet, also has a large economic impact on the Midlands of South Carolina. The base employs over 5,000 civilians and creates a footprint of about $2.6 billion on Columbia and the surrounding community.
Right now, we as a country, whether it's the Army, the Navy, the civilian sector, the government, you simply have to be prepared. When the Korean War kicked off, we weren't ready because we downsized after World War II. When you know, the global war on terrorism kicked off, or when 9/11 occurred, we simply weren't ready. That's one of the things that scares me as I look at the military downsizing now, is I would hate for something to come up again soon and us not be ready.
With the heartwarming reunions over and family tours of the barracks done, there is still one day left. Graduation day at Jackson.
I serve the people of the United States and live in the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier.
Sergeant Charles from Galveston, New York. Third platoon is led by Sergeant Charles Nixon from Mobile, Alabama. Fourth platoon is led by Sergeant Edward Howard from Los Angeles, California.
For an American soldier, basic training is just one step in the process, and once they graduate here, it's almost like a tease. 24 hours with your family, hugging, kissing, exchanging laughter, and then they're off again to the next step, AIT. The road to becoming an American soldier is not an easy one, nor should it be. It's a more than 200-year-old tradition. As we look back on 9/11, we mustn't forget the lessons we learned, the heroes we lost, and the sense of American pride and spirit that was only made stronger on that Tuesday morning in 2001. I'm TRyan. Thank you for joining us.